Hey everyone, Xander here, just to give you some context to the release schedule this week. So, to celebrate the much anticipated Barbenheimer weekend, we decided to discuss both Barbie and Oppenheimer. But because we wanted to give both movies the respect they deserved, we ended up having a recording time of nearly 4 hours. So we've decided to split the episode into 2 parts. The first part covers Oppenheimer, whilst the second covers Barbie. We go into full spoilers for both movies, and the time codes for those spoilers will be in the description. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Film Me In podcast. Okay, now that Hamish is gone, we can talk about the real movie this week. Of course, the other half of Barbenheimer was Barbie. It was released this weekend, and it's been a huge hit. There was a tweet coming through earlier saying that it's already passed over $500 million worldwide, and it's it's not even been out a week yet. That is outrageous. So
what you said is just outrageous.
We're definitely going to be seeing more of this in the future. And people have been responding really well to it. So we'll do non-spoilers first, and then we'll go into some more specific spoilers later on. But what did everyone think?
Wait, please.
Go on, Suan. Suan's itching.
I think it was sublime.
Okay, great. Amazing.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Should I say it like he did it?
Go for it.
No, I don't know how you did it now.
Was it like,
watched the damn movie yesterday.
Was it like that?
Sublime.
Yes.
There you go.
Beautiful.
It was sublime though. Thank you.
Joe, do you wanna?
Huh?
What do you think of this movie that we're talking about? I thought
it was very good. I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I really needed to piss as soon as the film started, but like the film was so good I forgot that I needed to piss.
That's a good film then.
I know.
No. It was such a good film. I forgot I had ADHD.
I watched the film and I forgot I was a man because I didn't want to be a man watching that film. Men are shit.
No, okay. What I've learned from both films is I hate America and I hate men.
Boom.
Yes.
That's what we
in
learned.
a way, these films are connected.
Yes. No,
one
100%.
passes the Bechdel test though, and one doesn't.
Oh no! I'll say this. I'll say in the spoiler bit. I'll say.
Well,
I was gonna say something.
Go on, Katie.
I
What
would
did
say
you think?
it is an amazing film. It is so much more than just a Barbie film. It like goes into so much detail into it. It discusses very real and heavy social issues that need to be discussed, and it does it in a correct way. I think it does it in a comedic way. It is a film for like that everyone should watch. Not if you just like Barbie. I mean, I'm obsessed with Barbie, so you know. But I think I mean, I'm taking my mum to go see it. She didn't want to go see it, but I'm like, no. It is necessary that you see this movie just so you can understand the key point. Not even just because it's going to be a smash hit and it's going to be the film of the century. But it is, yeah, exactly.
It is.
But it also it discusses amazing points that need to be known, and I think the only reason why it's getting bad reviews is because some people do not understand the true meaning of this film.
Amen.
Xander.
Wink, wink, Xander.
Yo, come on, man. I did not give this a bad review.
Well, we all know Xander hates women.
It is absolutely an important movie. Very important. And I would say that people should be going seeing this because it's an important movie. And it's so great to see, because you see so many movies come out that are more aimed at men. And like we don't see many properly female-led movies about women that celebrate women. And that's why this is such an important movie. And Greta Gerwig is now 3 for 3 on directorial, like big directorial
I
features.
want to watch Little Women.
Lady Bird is incredible, and Little Women was one of my favourite movies that year.
Little Women.
Absolutely amazing stuff.
But
I have problems with this movie.
Oh, Xander hates
None
women.
of them are the message. None of them are the messages. It's all in the delivery of some messages and also some like comedic bits. So I have problems with this movie, but it is not against the messages. I think it's a really important movie that people should be going to see it.
I'm just going to go off that. The reason you didn't understand it, I believe, is because I believe the delivery of almost all of the jokes are amazing and immaculate. They fit amazingly. The reason why some people are viewing these as different or not working, or they don't, the comedy doesn't hit, is because throughout our lives, women have been told that we have to be quiet. We're not allowed to stand up. And that monologue, I won't say what it is, but that monologue hits so deep, and I think it helps so many women, because we've been told our entire lives to sit, but if we are loud and we say anything else, we're immediately viewed as emotional or wrong or, a problem. And
I'm
I
nodding
think
in agreement.
This film allows us to show our true selves, and it allows us to actually speak our minds without the repercussions of a man. And I would say sometimes the jokes and messages are obnoxious or too loud, some may say. However, I believe that was necessary because what I have learned is people are dumb. And the only reason that you need to be extra loud is to get that message through their skulls, because some people still don't believe that women have rights. And we are, we've been saying this for history, but they just don't believe it. Therefore, we need to go even louder, because we've been loud in the past. The suffragettes, amazing women. However, I am looking at America today and realizing how much we are going back in time.
It's crazy.
How women are getting rid of rights. So instead of just our casual, oh, guys, please, we also deserve rights, we need to be loud about it. And I think this film is a beautiful example of how that, we need to be over the top. We need to be exaggerating. And it shows an amazing message about America, about social class, about women, about men, about just being yourself. And also, you can be anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, sauce. Yeah. Do you want...
Which one of you
I
guys
feel like
wants-
Siwan should
I
go
don't
first.
Okay. I will say the funny thing about the argument being that, it's an attack on men by men. The men are saying this. I don't know what film you watch, but the damn thing also helps men. It is literally saying that men should stop trying to be the stereotypical man and to be yourself. It's not just for women to be themselves, it's for men to be themselves. There is no attack on men. Yeah, it's like saying how, you should be the patriarchy. That's what the thing is. It's saying that men shouldn't have to be, held up to what society thinks a man should be. So, it's not an attack.
I think...
And,
Also, this was co-written by a man. If it really was an
Exactly.
attack,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be written by a man. There is no agenda here that they hate, that, it's an attack against men. It's literally pointing out, how do I word it?
Don't be a stereotype.
Don't be the stereotype.
Don't be what society wants you to be.
Yeah. They say it both for the women and the men in this film.
Don't base your entire personality off hating another person just because what's in their pants.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, my mum came close to tears at this film at the moment.
I came close to tears.
At the moment you said earlier, so...
I came close to tears.
My mum came to me afterwards, was like, Joe, do you understand all that, what she was saying? I'm like, yeah, I did. Don't think bad of me. I think, Xander, maybe you didn't think some of the jokes worked because you did say in your review you watched the trailers, which gave a lot away. I didn't watch the trailers, and I felt like a lot of the jokes were quite funny.
Yeah, I think a lot of the parts that I found the funniest were already in the trailers, and that is a problem with a lot of films. So I didn't want to hold that just against this movie. But then also, I was in a crowded, a packed audience full of families, of groups of women together, and I was sat there on my own. I was like, okay, I'm definitely out of place here, but I'm here for it. And silence throughout the movie. There were no moments when people were laughing. And
really?
It was, honestly,
you had
I felt
the
bizarre.
viewing.
I absolutely must have. No, but when the title card came on saying Barbie, there was applause. When the Warner Brothers logo was pink, there was applause. Margot Robbie appeared, there was applause, and no laughter. No laughter throughout the entire movie. And I'm like, hang on a second, guys. This moment is actually funny, and I felt because I don't want to be the one guy in there laughing hysterically at this movie. Because I'm like, because there are some moments that are really funny, but then there are a lot of jokes that I didn't think were any good. There's one that a lot of people online are getting upset about, specifically around Zack Snyder, and it's like there's a reason.
I want to talk about that.
There's a reason not to find that joke funny, and it's because it's not that funny. It's a little bit of a niche reference and a little bit outdated and like whatever. No. But also like you're just it feels like you're kind of baiting people to get angry at that. I'm not angry at that joke. I just didn't find it that
Xander,
funny.
you angry
I think
at that
was one of the best jokes.
No, I'm not. I just said I'm not angry at that joke. Why would I be angry at that joke?
Wait.
I like the movie, but like I'm not. Come on, man. You know me. I'm not gonna get angry at these things.
I'm kidding.
Wait. I will say, you saying that it's a niche thing. Sometimes you do get niche jokes in other films. I know. Like, I went to watch it with my friend, and she turned to me when the Zack Snyder joke came up, because she knew she didn't get it, but she knew I'd get it. And I think it was funny because, I'm sorry, those dudes on Twitter cannot appreciate that you're getting what seems to be so far a really good DC reboot to something that's like, oh yeah, but it's not Snyder. It's not Snyder. Just shut the fuck up. You're not getting it. You're not getting your Zack Snyder anymore.
James Gunn has ruined the DC universe. He hasn't released a bloody film
yet. He hasn't done anything. So, like, it is a niche joke, but I appreciated it because if you know those kind of fans on specifically Twitter, they deserve to be called out.
Go on, Katie. You haven't said anything in a while.
I mean, I did have like that massive long thing.
I meant I just spoke, so you should probably speak next.
True. I will say probably I'm gonna speak for the people in your theatre, and maybe the reason they weren't laughing
because they were all men
is because they were is because they were so engrossed in that film. For some reason, I did not feel like it sounds weird. I didn't feel like a person in that film. I felt like I was the film. I felt like I was watching it. Like, I was not in a theatre. It was not an in-body experience. I was so engrossed into that film that I might have been, I don't know what I was doing. I could have been, like, laughing my head off, or I could have been crying for all I know. I honestly have no clue what I was doing, because that film is so good and I was just fully immersed. Also, I want to say a massive shout out to these little old ladies who went as a group to our theatre. They make my life just 10 times happier. They were all dressed in pink. It was just a little group of them. And I honestly wish I saw them just to give them a hug.
I felt bad watching this film because I know this seems weird me saying this, but is it cringe? I don't know. But it's hard watching and listening to what women go through. Like...
It's tough. It's a tough reality to face when you do, because like we don't.
Everything that's said in this film is true, and although I don't completely understand it, I now know more about it, and I'm sorry to women
good.
Out there.
Again,
no,
an
that's
important
good, though.
movie.
Yeah. And if men are giving this a bad
helpful.
review because it's like they think it hates men, it's not hating men. It's trying to improve them because they're not very nice people to women. Leave them alone.
It's calling them out on their flaws, and they're not happy with that because the patriarchy and the world that we are living in favours men.
Jinx.
And horses always.
Can I gush for a minute about this?
Go for it.
This might be the prettiest movie of the
year. It looks
the
so good.
Fucking colour.
The colour, the cast, the crew, the set, the costumes.
The set design and the costume design is outrageous, and that paired with the cinematography just makes this whole world feel
so much of it is practical as well. Like, it's not like layered in CG. It's like, that's real.
It's so nice to see stuff that's real.
Yeah, it's so nice. I love it. I love even this, like, the small textures on the set in Barbie Land, how you can see it's dull, like you can see it's plastic, but it has that exact texture that all the Barbie toys had, where it was like a little bit of grain on the sand, or the sand had the weight. Like, it was just perfect. It was immaculate.
These production designer, I've forgotten their name, but they worked out how big a Barbie is compared to a dream house, and they built the set according to that ratio. So it's real size, which is also incredible.
That's great.
I don't know.
That's what you need.
I don't know what they did, but this is like just one example, but it's in the trailer as well. But when Barbie finds out Ken's in the car and it flips, for some reason it doesn't look like normal CG. It looks like they actually did it, and I know they didn't do it, but it looks real. Do you know what I mean?
It's like what would happen if a kid picks it up and spins it around.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said.
That happens so many. Like when at the beginning when Ken's at the beach and he tries to show off. I'm not gonna give context, but when that happens, he's not spinning like a normal person. He's spinning as if a kid was holding him and going with two hands.
Yeah, I mean, and Barbie, like, literally when she gets out of her dream house, she just gets picked up and floats down to her car because she doesn't walk downstairs.
It's so the attention to detail.
And even when they were when she goes down the stairs, her legs are how a Barbie would sit. Exactly how a Barbie would sit. Not even like, just like the way I don't know how to phrase this. She was sat like a Barbie would. And how they would go down the slide. She didn't feel like a human in that moment. She felt like a doll.
Absolutely.
I do have one question, and this is for everybody. Like, not everybody here, everybody that went to see this. Why does everybody own pink all of a sudden? I own nothing pink. I have pink socks, and I've got a strip of pink on my shoes, and that's what I wore. Why does everybody have pink?
Because we're cultured.
Yeah,
I felt like
pink.
When was this a thing?
I felt like a criminal not having pink.
In it,
I felt wrong.
So I found out I do have pink, but not cute pink. Like
it's like salmon.
My sisters. No,
salmon's cute.
It's like salmon's the cutest one of the pinks, really.
It's hot
it was
pink.
Like a really.
Is that?
It was like ugly hot pink.
That's fine,
It was like dirty hot pink. That's good. That's good pink. No, but they were exercise tops as well, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, I had my pink headband, but I honestly... I am sad that I didn't have an outfit. Like, part of me, if I didn't have any money or a job right now, I know for a fact that I would have gone out and I bought, like, a full outfit.
I think my sister did it right.
Amy did it great.
Queen. I literally whispered to Sawan going... I want a Barbie doll now.
Go, Roz.
Roz, the queen!
No, but, like, there is something so nice about seeing, like, all those girls coming in, like, everybody wearing pink. Everybody's there for a reason. Like, and I genuinely do want to go find my dolls. There's a part of me that just wants to play with my dolls right now.
I'm honestly, after this, I'm thinking of going up.
Like, put the heads back on and...
Oh, no, you see, no, my Barbies are in good condition. My brats, however, I cut their hair.
I took care of my Barbies. The only thing I did is I made them all clothes, so they are in, like, I think one of them's in, like, Gabriella's dress from High School Musical.
Oh, I did that. I do think I have one weird Barbie because I by mistakenly played with it too much and its arm fell off.
I do.
And I was so gutted about that because she was my favourite.
My mermaid Barbie, I think we had to throw out, and I'm really sad because it was my favourite, but the reason I used to take her into the bath and she got mould. And I'm really sad. But all of them have, like, really weird hairstyles. Like, that's the only thing. Like, not weird. Like, it's me trying to do plaits.
Oh, yeah.
But not very possibly on a Barbie
Though
doll.
it's not Barbie. I remember my sister had, like, these High School Musical, like statues, but they were painted. And I remember I broke Chad's legs off by accident. So that in the High School Musical island, Chad's got no legs. He can't do any of the dances. He's just on the floor while
That's
Troy's
so
dancing
Chad.
away.
Poor Chad, actually.
The Boys Are Back
that's
is
a
not
shame.
as good anymore because Chad's just on the floor in the scrapyard.
Oh no.
He's not back, is he?
But
No,
It's not bad.
he's half a boy.
I feel like with the outfits and everything, it really did create an amazing community and showed me how well, like, I feel like in the past few years, we always used to say, like, sisterhood and girls protecting girls. In the past few years, I have not felt that in the slightest. I've felt that women have been tearing each other down. There have been moments where we have stood up for ourselves, with the abortion laws in America. But I feel like it's not shown enough. I feel like it's not shown enough. I think you know, if women, what this film has told me is if women stand together, we can do a lot more. We just need to be loud about it. And I feel like with the outfits, it showed everyone that you don't have to be the stereotypical Barbie, but you can wear pink and still be yourself. You can wear pink and still be like in your own clothes and be comfortable. Like what Barbie is not be this. It's take Barbie's power and become a better version of yourself. And I feel like it really does tell you Barbie can help you become amazing and anything you want to be.
Something I wrote this down because I did a bit of research last night and I was like, that's so cool. I didn't realise this when watching it, but the Dr. Barbie in this is played by a trans actress called Harry Ned. And I didn't realise watching it, but I thought, you know, it's presented as normal, which it is. You know, it was just there. You know, how do I describe it?
I didn't know either.
You know, it was done so respectfully, and she was with the girls' night. You know, she was invited over for girls' night. It was so lovely.
I saw someone on Twitter say it was nice to see that, because I didn't realise myself till after. They said it was nice to see that and like no quips or jokes being the punt of it. Yeah. That they were just there and that's what it should be. Yeah,
she was Barbie and that was that. Mm-hmm. And also you had you know, at the start they show all the different Barbies and you have, you know, also wheelchair Barbie, and in the dance sequence you also have wheelchair Barbie, and it's not like a quick shot. They hold on her for a long time. She, like, it doesn't matter who they are, and whatever. They are Barbie.
There's also a plus size Barbie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I felt seen, which is great.
With the wheelchair Barbie as well, I feel like in a lot of sequences it is shown as that's the girl in the wheelchair. I feel like a lot of movies do that, and especially during dance sequences, it's like that is their thing. That is the only thing that they can do. But no, she was dancing amongst everyone else.
Yeah, it wasn't like a solo thing.
They adapted the dance and it looked amazing. She looked beautiful when she was doing it, and I don't think she looked any different than any of the other Barbies. She blended in amazingly, and I think that really,
she was Barbie.
You know, she was Barbie, as all, you know.
The Dua Lipa song slaps.
It
absolutely slaps.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
But I really didn't like the Lizzo song at the start. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't like it. I didn't like that song. It wound me up, and then they replayed it, and I was like, for God's sake, I thought this ended.
Yeah, but it's sort of the wake up.
And then it's not as long. Yeah, it changed. It's like, yeah, but I don't like it. Didn't like the song.
I liked it. I liked how it was a bit cringy in a way.
Yeah.
But I think that almost is the way that was the wake-up song, especially how it was at the start and how it changes at the end. I think that shows how Barbie changes. How at the very start, it was what you would think of a Barbie song. You would think, oh, Barbie making a song. It's going to be like that. Yeah. And I think with that change, it goes, wait, it's not like this anymore. Oh my God, like, what is happening? It's not natural. But what the film is saying is how that is natural, and we do need to change. And I will say, I loved how they called themselves out. Mattel realized their mistakes in this film. They didn't make themselves look like a good person. Like, not a good like company. They realized their past, and they went, okay, we've not been supporting young girls. We've not been supporting the young girls in the way that we imagined we were going to be doing. So we need to step up. We need to take responsibility of that and become better. And show that, okay, yeah, we have made the mistakes. These are our mistakes, and we want to help that. We don't want to do that anymore. Also, I love the call out to Midge. Amazing.
Just quickly with the Dua Lipa song, it's a small thing, but it really tickled my brain when Margot Robbie clapped on beat with that song. I was like, yum. This is tasty. This is lovely.
Can we talk about the rest of the cast then? So we've already talked about, like, briefly, Margot Robbie is is incredible. She's proving once again why she's a great actress. Ryan Gosling is really good. I think
The best.
maybe a little too one note in most scenes, but like again, I think he gets the development right at the end, and that's great. But I think the standout for me is America Ferrera.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love
Yes,
her. I have a crush
100%.
on her.
Has anyone seen Superstore?
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole show is on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's so good, and it feels like a continuation of that character. Like I really love her character in Superstore, and I love her character in this. It feels like the similar sort of thing where she's calling out this big company in Superstore, and now she's calling out this big company in Mattel, and also, you know, just men in general. So I really like her character.
Again, with my mum's review, when she got out of the cinema, she was like, Joe, I loved it. And do you know what I really loved? I was like, what? America Ferrera. I'm like, I agree with you, Mum. I agree with you so much. She was great in it. And she's got a great scene in this, probably one of the standout scenes of the film where, I don't know, I think it's very important.
Absolutely. It was the moment that made me sit up a bit and be like, wow, okay, like we'll take a beat here and be like, that's insane.
I think that scene is the pinnacle of the film.
Yeah.
And I think that it will be remembered for decades.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be sitting my kids down and be like, ignore school, you don't need to learn your ABCs, you need to know this.
You'd hope that things would have changed by then, but I'm guessing we're still going to have to be teaching the same lessons in
At
20 years.
this point, I feel like we're gonna get better. Like, I feel like the Barbie movie might make us better.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But
For a few.
I feel like it, you know, similar to I mentioned the suffragettes earlier, how, you know, they probably thought, guys, it's amazing, we've got our rights. And now we're looking back at it going, okay, well, you don't have those rights anymore. What?
Do you want an abortion? Haha, no.
Literally, don't.
I'm still really nervous because before we started recording, I wrote a Letterboxd review when I finished watching Barbie, and I've been told that Katie has read it and written a lengthy response, and I'm very nervous. Can we get this over with, please?
I mean, most of it are just points that I have mentioned.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Luckily, that mainly my little speech earlier was mainly what it was. Also, I will say with the Ken's one note, you were talking about him being very similar. I feel like that fitted with Ken. That is Ken. That is how Ken had been written. He's meant to be one note. He is an accessory, and with the way that you said he changed later on in the film, that shows he is Ken-enough.
I need that jumper.
I want that jumper.
I want
it
that
so
so
bad.
badly. I want it so
It will be
badly. I
mine.
need
Oh,
it in
yes,
my life.
it will be mine.
Wait, guys, I think I actually have a website. I'll send into chat later on.
Okay, amazing.
Yay. We can all wear
On the
it.
subject of Ken, can I say that every time Ncuti Gatwa was on screen, my eyes were on him. I was drawn to his like, there's a bit later on the film where he's out of focus in the background, but he's like doing like a really awesome movement. I'm like, I see you. You are gorgeous, gorgeous man. I think he's my favourite Ken.
Should we
Ryan?
do?
He's the obvious one. He's my Ken.
I loved Ryan.
Should we do obligatory number scores and then get more in depth in spoilers?
Sure.
Who wants
10
to
out of
go
10.
first? 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 1000%. If I could, I would give it a 20 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's genuinely loved it.
I would
Go on,
give
Joe.
it a 9 out of 10. I don't know why I sang that.
Sander.
I'm by far the lowest on this, and I will say, I am desperate to see it again, and I'm desperate to be on the hype that everyone else is. I want to love this, and I'm devastated that I don't love this as much as everyone else. For me, it's like a 6.5.
It's gone down!
It's the same as it was. 6.5.
No.
I had to round up to 7 on Letterboxd.
Right, so Caitlin's
But
roof
for
for
me, at the
Oppenheimer
moment-
and Xander's roof for this. What is going on?
After one watch, I just thought there were a few too many problems, and for a comedy, I didn't
You're
find it
a
that...
problem.
For a comedy, I need to sort of find it at least kind of funny, and I didn't find it all that funny. So for the time being, I'm desperate to rewatch it, but every screening I try and go to is full, and I don't want to be in a full screening again. So I would like to sit and watch this in a very quiet 10 a.m. screening, please. So until then, it is at the moment a 6.5.
Xander.
Shall we get into spoilers?
Yes.
Right, if you haven't seen Barbie, go away, because we're gonna spoil every last moment of it. After the spoiler alert, which is coming, and now. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Sublime!
Right, go on, Suwon.
Ha ha ha.
It's only
I like the
Joe,
little
we're women.
I like the little Photoshop joke.
The Photoshop joke.
The
I wrote that
Photoshop
down. I wrote that down.
joke.
I was like, are they calling me out right now?
No, to be fair, you're not like that, but I thought of you instantly.
No.
Wait, what?
there's-
Oh,
There was a
yes,
pho-
no, I...
photo-
You have to
yeah.
actually select
And-
the
Yeah.
layer. Like,
Yeah. And
I love that.
I'm pretty sure when you did try to show me like that, I know that's how you have to explain Photoshop. To be
Yeah, I
fair.
hope I didn't mansplain it. I just trying
Yeah,
to
you
help.
did.
I was just trying to help.
But like that whole thing of like the Photoshop, the Godfather, like I'm sorry, Godfather's so boring. It is.
It is.
That whole sequence was absolutely great.
It is written.
'Cause
Yeah,
it was
that-
all
the sequence where they're heisting all the Barbies away is really. That's a really good scene.
everything
really
about
is
it's just so true.
I didn't realize that.
I think it... You go.
Sorry. I didn't realize that Photoshop was a sort of thing that does occur a lot, but I can see why.
Yeah, I
'cause
didn't
it's-
expect it.
I guess
I
it is
wouldn't-
something that
I
men
wouldn't-
do sort of like. Ooh, you need
I
to do
feel
this.
like it wasn't really about Photoshop. I think it was about computers.
Oh no, yeah.
And as
yeah.
someone who is a female who does stuff on computers,
I
you don't
literally
understand the amount
did
of
it to
times-
you earlier. I
They should've-
literally did
You
it to
don't-
you
They
earlier.
should have had a joke about
You don't
HDMI
understand.
cables. Oh my god, they should have done that. Like, do you know? Yeah.
I think that sequence showed how women aren't necessarily bad if we use the stuff that we've been given. For example, they mention in one of the things earlier how Barbie is just a bimbo. But I think it really shows that we're allowed to use any any means necessary to gain power, similar to how the men's have. You know, we have been over-sexualized our entire lives. Have you seen little girls' clothes right now? Why
They
are you
are
putting a 2-year-old in a
terrifying.
crop out? Why are you putting a 2-year-old in a crop top? Don't do it. It's gross. When you have like icky things that when their baby grows, it's gross. But when you get a guy's one, like even their shorts, if you look at a toddler's length, a toddler, female and male, is actually no difference in height. However, the females' ones are this big, but the males goes down to their knee. It is insane, but we are allowed to take that sexualization and be empowered by it. We're allowed to use it to our advantage, similar to how men have done it in the past. And we shouldn't be shamed for that. And any women who, you know, do want to be the stereotypical housewife, you know, not have to go to work, have a loving husband and 5,000 kids and, you know, do all those maternal tasks, they shouldn't be shamed for it. They're an icon for doing that. Queen. Same as people who don't want to do family at all and go into a business line. We should not be tied down just to one thing. And us saying, hey, I want a life, I want freedom, I want rights, that isn't saying, oh, we don't want to be mothers anymore. Because a lot of people do. We just want, you know, every man to treat us as an equal, even if we are a mother, you know? And I get it in video games all the time. Like, I play Valorant. The amount of times I have been told horrendous things. Like, literally gruesome things that I will never say on the podcast.
Thank you.
Just because, and I'm not putting you through that, just because I have a uterus. or I'm femme looking. I appear femme. Like, it's the same way of, I stream, this is a known fact, on their streams.
Do you?
You know. Oh my god. And
Plug it.
well, twitch.tv/tinykatie. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, but as doing that, I am viewed as an e-girl. And the term e-girl, I hate it, I'm not gonna lie. Because so many times that it's just... it's used to, like, demoralize us or dehumanize us. And it's like, oh, you don't get an opinion because you're an e-girl or anything like that. And also, I have been told so many times by so many men that, oh, you stream, you should be famous, right? Because you're a woman. Because all you need to get out is get your tits out and you've immediately got 1 million views. And it is a tragic thought that most of the women on Twitch itself, who are in the top percentage of women on the platform, also have an OnlyFans. I think that is a very key point that people need to know. Women are not just there for their bodies and have other, skills and uses. And we aren't there to be used in that way. And you should not put down someone's success just because they're attractive. For example, Pokimane. She is a very beautiful woman. I think we can all agree this.
Damn straight.
But she is...
I don't know who it is.
Nah, damn gay.
Neither.
Damn gay all the time. She's a very beautiful woman, but she is also incredibly smart. She has a degree, I believe. Like, in engineering? I don't know, she's
No,
smart.
but so does
I don't
Joe,
know.
and he's an idiot. Like...
Xander. We did film degrees. I think it's a bit
Yeah,
different.
according to
than,
Rishi,
like,
those are lower grade.
Yeah, we don't
important, so
deserve it.
It's understandable.
We have no brain. Oh, we have
Hi,
no brain.
Rishi.
Hi, Rishi.
He's definitely listening to this while he's quaking
Yeah.
in his boots.
Yes.
I'm in your walls, Rishi.
Did you see that?
Send it to him.
He went to see Barbenheimer with his family, and he said, up first, Barbie. And it's like he's with his entire family of, like, 7-year-old girls. It's like, you're definitely not taking them to see Oppenheimer, bro. It's okay.
I mean, this is a completely different thing, but, using his stuff...
Sorry, yeah, go on.
He should... Oh, no, I'm talking about Rishi. He should never watch a film because, we shouldn't be use it. Also, how would he get the information to us that's banned if we had no media?
Hey.
His half of his thing is media. I don't
think he
We
thinks
breathe.
anything through,
We
does
breathe.
he?
No, I don't think any of our politicians do. Or any, for example. Which is the reason why women need to be in power. However, because of Liz, she makes me so angry because we've had one bad woman prime minister. Because of that, we're never getting
Cabbage.
cabbage.
Oh, Liz
She was
Truss.
outlasted by a cabbage.
I literally thought you meant
Truss,
Hamish. I
yes.
literally thought you meant Hamish's mum.
Oh,
Hamish's mum.
yeah. Because of that, we are never, like, every single man is going, well, a woman can't do that because she's too emotional. And it's just, I hate men so much sometimes. Like, the best men are the people who realise that men are gross. And thank you two for doing that.
Yes. I'm really glad you said both of us.
You should. What
I
you
was
should have done is
nervous,
said
I was
one. You
nervous.
should have said one of you, and then we'll have to decide which one it is.
We'd have scrapped it out.
Wait,
No, I like women
No,
more.
the answer would have been Joe.
No, I would have lost though. Look
go
at
on, Sue.
those.
I saw this on Twitter, but I just want to say it. Do you know Sasha's friends that at that table? They look eerily similar to brat dolls.
Wait,
One
can
of
you say
them is
that again?
black, one of them Hispanic. Okay, they look eerily similar
yes.
to each of the Bratz dolls. One of them Hispanic like Yasmin, one of them's black like Sasha, one of them's blonde, and one of them's Asian like Jade. They look like brat dolls, and that is great.
Yasmin was my favourite.
That's quite cool.
No, mine was Jade.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Two things. Going back to the movie.
I did go back
What?
to the movie.
I know, alright. Sorry.
Oh, apparently talking about how
sorry.
it's about women and to do with the movie.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
Caitlin.
You guys just do nothing but talking about women. It's exhausting. God.
Ugh, women.
God. Right. Firstly, Mojo Dojo Casa House. Very
Yes!
funny.
This is like
Funny
Chai
gag.
Kai Tea.
I'm
Really
in my
funny
Mojo
gag.
Dojo Casa house.
And
Mojo
two,
Casa House.
the best scene in the movie, you are all incorrect when you talk about the best scene in the movie, because it is the smallest scene in the movie where Barbie sits on a park bench and speaks to an old woman.
That is so sweet.
Beautiful, it's stunning, and it is by far the best scene in the movie, and might be one of my favourite scenes in a movie this year. It's only short, but it's incredible.
It's beautiful.
You cut out when you said what the scene was, but I'm presuming you said about the granny?
Woman on the park bench.
Yeah.
The park bench. Yeah. I believe, I might be wrong on this, but I believe that old woman is Barbara.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
She is who Barbie was based off. And
It
so,
does seem like it's filmed
Yeah.
like that. I looked into it and was like, the creator of Barbie, but she died, but maybe it is Barbara.
No, it is. So the creator of Barbie died, and that's who was at the very end of the film, who was,
The mum
acting
from
as
the
her.
original Matilda film.
But yes, a lot nicer in this film.
God, yeah.
But that old woman is, I believe, is Barbara.
It is, yes.
And because I remember seeing it all over Twitter, being like, she's going to be in the film, and I am so glad they got her in. And I think it was a beautiful moment, them calling her beautiful.
I did
Agreed.
also love Rob Brydon's little cameo.
Oh, you're stealing all my stuff, I was going to say.
Very strange. I didn't see that coming, and
I did, because he was at
again,
the premiere,
it's-
You did.
and I
didn't-
almost
didn't
leaked
find-
it
I didn't.
to you.
It's
at
one of the
Prezzo.
moments I just didn't find it that funny.
But he's
I'm
sugar
sorry,
daddy.
I just didn't
But he
find it. I find it really uncomfortable and a little bit awkward. I didn't like. Sorry, but anyway, like
But
that's.
he was a dish, he was. That Ken
if
was a
Hamish
dish, he was.
If Hamish was here right now, he'd
But
be
he's
grilling
not.
me for that.
But he's not.
Okay, I've done some.
re-
Sorry, I've just
yeah.
done some research on who the old woman was. It wasn't Barbara, the daughter. It's actually the costume designer Anne Roth.
So
Oh.
I think it's just meant to be
An old woman.
an old woman. I think it's just meant to be a nice interaction.
I do like how
And
she's
that's why it
wasn't
works
just
so well.
like her saying, "Oh, thank you." It was her saying, "I know I am."
That's the thing. It needs to be said, because like every age of woman is beautiful. Like it doesn't just stop when you get old. Like
No.
that is an entire
Oh.
thing of everybody is.
Yeah.
Age, whatever, gender, everybody's fucking beautiful. Get on with it.
I mean, cough, cough, Xander, apologies. I'm going to mention hair.
That was so unnecessary. I'm just sitting here. What
No,
is
no.
this?
Sorry, Zen,
What-
you won't
what
understand
I'm-
this.
No, what I was going to say is, with women, it's shown that our worth decreases once we have a wrinkle or, whatever.
I'm waiting for you to
But-
mention hair. Well, you haven't mentioned hair once yet.
It's 'cause you're
But
wrinkled as well,
with a
Xander.
man, a lot of the time, it is the older men that we look for. Like, not we, but like, as a woman, a lot of the time people like older men more. And they like having... Hi there, someone. Yeah, no, I was thinking of you.
Hi.
But it's, it's when a guy's hair goes grey or,
There you go, the hair.
balding or whatever. That's the hair.
Right, sick.
I'm sorry.
That was a
Xander,
long
you've
road.
got like Eminem's
That
hair
was-
right now.
I feel like it is more acceptable. Like, Xander, this is a compliment. You look good with a bald head. There you go.
Thanks, Kate.
You look good.
I needed that. I needed to hear that. Yeah,
You
thank you.
do.
You do.
You'd
suit it.
look
can't
great if you shaved your head too, I'm sure.
No, I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Do it. It's so freeing.
But Xander, if you had hair,
I have too many
even
bumps on my
better.
head.
Joe, I'm gonna slap you up, man.
You cannot.
But yeah, it is shown as
I'm
a
gonna fight you in
woman's
my
worth.
Mojo Dojo Casa.
I've got hair though.
Not the Mojo Dojo Casa house. A woman's, especially with an old woman, I feel like it was key to have her be the one who's called beautiful, for the fact that at that age, women can no longer reproduce. And also they have wrinkles and grey hair. And as a woman, that is all shown as bad things. And the worth of a woman has immediately decreased once you've hit that age. And I think that shows not only she is a stunning woman, no matter what age, no matter what like facial features she has or anything like that.
Yeah, I would.
She's not only beautiful, but she is smart, she is kind.
Xander,
I hate you.
Xander.
I hate you so much.
I've got no filter. I'm really sorry.
Just after I'm talking about how women are just reproductive organs.
You're absolutely right. I'm just proving your
Xander.
point. I'm really sorry.
But yeah, she is beautiful, she's smart, she's kind, she can do everything she wants, and just because she is now quote unquote old does not mean anything. Can you tell I'm passionate about this film? By the
A little
way?
bit.
No.
I don't know if
Not
I
at
don't think
all.
it comes across. I don't think it comes
We're
across,
actually
guys.
like, if we hit 3 hours recording, then we're gonna have to stop and start recording again.
We're gonna have to stop
So, like,
Oppenheimer.
we're gonna have to Stoppenheimer.
He just repeated my
Stoppenheimer.
joke, so
Stoppenheimer.
you can edit mine
Stoppenheimer.
one out. You can edit mine out, so it sounds like you said it.
No, I'm just gonna repeat what you said because it was.
I'm just
funny.
gonna repeat what you said because it was funny.
Sick.
It's like, yeah.
Is there
wait,
anything else
is
we
this-
want to add to this? Anyone else?
I've got
more
lots
points?
of stuff, Xander. What are you talking about?
I've got lots of stuff. Also,
doesn't want to
as
talk
a
about women
small
anymore.
point, Oppenheimer is what Ken went to go watch,
Yeah.
and that's why he's come back and gone Men and Horses.
I'm sorry, can we talk about I'm
So-
Just Ken, though? That is such a good song.
That's so good. I've been listening to it
Anywhere
all night.
else I'd be
Be a 10.
I
Like,
just love
genuinely,
the
this
sort
film
of,
makes me want to go dance.
I love the sort of like Grease homage of them in their black like tops and that, and then
It
doing
was
the dance.
great.
We had girls in
that
our
dance
it's
sequence
scre-
is incredible.
We had girls in our screen just scream as soon as that came up. Like as soon as Simu Liu did he does like a certain move, and they went. Ah! It was crazy. It was so cool. And I was watching Shooting the whole time, and when he kissed Ryan Gosling on the cheek, I was like, this is cinema right here.
One thing that is not about the story or anything, the cinematography of it is beautiful.
It looks great.
The shots are stunning. They flow immaculately, and they work very well.
Joe?
Oh, this is a really small moment, but there's a guy in it who's part of like the business people with Will Ferrell, and he's in a show called Stafflet's Flats, and they're talking about like, if humans go in the Barbie world, it could create the worst things imaginable, and he goes, 2 potatoes hosting a podcast, and like a choir of like
Yeah.
loads of crying old people, and I just found that so funny.
Yes, it was very
You
good.
can laugh along everyone if you want.
What,
I don't know.
one of my issues with this movie is he's actually Will Ferrell's character. Like I think Will Ferrell is good in this.
I find it really fun. I liked his run.
There's so many side characters that just kind of get brought up and dropped and forgotten about for ages, and then everyone appears back at the end. It's like, oh right, okay, everything's wrapped up, okay. And I didn't really like that. There seems to be a lot of
It's not
dips
really
where
about
there's just like,
the businessman, though.
I-
is
I
it?
know it's not about them,
Yeah.
but I was expecting more scenes just to interconnect.
You wanted more
everything. They
scenes
just
with men in, Xander, is that
Not,
it?
you know what I mean.
Oh.
They just like they just disappear for like
I know what you
half the
mean.
movie and then reappear
Well-
at the end, and it's like, oh wait, everything's great now.
I feel like that the entire reason of the movie is not the story of how Barbie goes into the real world. It is that, but it isn't. It isn't about Mattel as a company going to go get them again. He isn't a main character in it.
No,
He is there to symbolize how in these big corporations that men rule it, and how it is all about women. But if you look behind the scenes, I don't really see a woman back there.
Yeah, no.
I think that's the reason they're in the film, not because they need to, get her back into it. They are meant just for that social commentary.
I feel like they were that section of the movie was left over from a previous draft, and they've kept it in, and then not gotten rid of it, and then just sort of brought him back, because really they have nothing to do in the movie. Like, I know they bring up that important thing, but you also bring that up a lot with Ken and that sort of stuff. So you can have America Ferrera working there, but then don't have this whole boardroom of people chasing after them, and it sort of goes nowhere. So I feel like it's left over from a previous version of this, where it was more of Barbie goes into the real world as a fish out of water, where it became Barbie goes there and comes back, and then it's all about how Ken and the patriarchy and stuff like that.
I was worried that's what the film was going to be, because I hate when films do the whole, character goes to the big city, and it's such a boring plotline. The Smurfs have done it. Fucking Winnie the Pooh's done it. Just stop.
Hey, don't diss Neil Patrick Harris. All right, don't be doing that.
It's a bad
Don't
film.
diss
It's a bad
Neil
film,
Patrick Harris.
and he has suspicious parties. But ignoring that, I quite liked the business people, even though they weren't a big part of the plot. I liked just seeing Will Ferrell and a bunch of businessmen just on roller skates and then riding the little bike.
Yeah.
I don't care. They weren't.
And
a big
Connor
part of the
Swindles.
movie. And Connor Swindles.
I feel like the reason they were included was not... I still feel like they were a crucial part of it, and I feel like they were still needed. I kind of understand what you mean of they were kind of shown as a big villain in that way, and then kind of not at all. I also will say, as a quick little snippet, I called it that Ken was going to do this. I called it months ago that Ken was going to do this, and everyone was like, no, absolutely not.
No, I remember Caitlin saying, and I said no.
Yeah.
Wait, what exactly did you say? What was your prediction?
She said that Ken would be the bad guy.
Ken would end up being the bad guy.
I remember that. Yeah, that's cool.
It's when I spoil it for you.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen the second trailer. I was like, I don't know what this is about. You're like,
Yeah.
Barbie goes to the real world. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. But I think the businessmen were there just to make some sort of they needed a push of the urgency.
I guess also it shows that the company itself isn't sort of the big thing, like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
It's the icon of Barbie.
Barbie is the queen. I will say, me and Swan were talking about how that little middle section where they go to the real world is the only section of the film where it kind of drags on a bit.
I think it's the weakest bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It is the weakest beat, 100%. And I think the reason for that is not, they don't have the bright colours. They don't have the excitement of, wow, this is Barbie land, everything's amazing.
The amazing set design.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, at the end, it's obviously, it's Barbie land, but everything's going wrong. I feel like that middle section is kind of just a bit drab, and it needs to be like that because that's what the real world is.
That also might be the case, why you feel that scene has less sort of fun stuff in it. Impact is because Ryan Gosling said that they filmed on Barbie Land for most of the time in a set in London, and then they did the in real life sections afterwards. And he said it was really strange because it was like, we've had such a creative, safe space to perform and build out these characters, and then go into the real world dressed in neon lycra. It's like it's a little bit harder to feel that safety when there's so many people who haven't seen what you've been doing doing that in front of them. So I guess they sort of toned it back a little bit in that sense.
Yeah, it shows the self-consciousness. It shows their anxieties. I mean, that's the entire thing that Barbie is dealing with. And I think having those moments just show how the real world is gross. And I don't like it. People, ew.
Ken has all the genitalia. That was a standout line.
No, that makes me... That scene made me... I loved it so much.
And on the subject of that, I know we hate the whole... mansplaining is bad, and I don't want to admit to this, but my mum and sister didn't quite understand the ending about the gynecology, so I...
Have your mum and sister never been
What?
to a gynecologist?
Well, I don't know. So I said, "Oh, mum, it's because
No,
earlier on, for the most of the film, Barbie doesn't have a vagina. So the first thing she'd do when she gets in the real world is probably, sort it out.
Please
You don't
tell
buy
me.
vaginas
Please tell
from
me.
the gynecologist.
You can buy a vagina, technically.
Can you?
Yeah.
Joe wants one.
You're a trans woman.
Oh, sorry.
Little
sorry.
operation.
Joe wants one.
Yeah. I mean, you said it was detachable, weren't you? Yours was.
My vagina.
Yeah.
We should definitely talk about America Ferrera's speech.
Oh fuck yeah, we haven't talked about that yet.
Because that's my favourite bit of the film.
I was about to cry.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. It was very eye-opening for me anyway, just to realise that, women don't have it easy. But also it wasn't like, it felt earned. It wasn't like a sort of...
It did.
There it is. It was part of the story, and it was... It's probably going to be accused of being preachy or whatever. Fuck off. It's... Because all of it's the truth. If you don't like it, stop watching, you silly goose. It also helps that I really like America Ferrera as an actor. True. But it was a very good speech. It was well earned. Everything she said is the truth. And I didn't expect it to be like one of the main characters going into this, but it's nice to come away from this and go, she was my favourite character,
Mm-hmm.
I did describe the movie as somewhat preachy at times. That scene is not the moment, because I think that scene is really powerful and really really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's towards the end of the film where they just sort of... I know it's the theme of the movie, and it's a really important message. I wrote this specifically in my review, saying that, like, this is so important for people to see, because there are some people in this audience that need to hear these things. And like Caitlin said earlier, people are stupid. People do need to be hammered in the head with these ideas to make sure it goes in, and I get that. But to someone who is like, I got it the first time, then repeating it 4 or 5 times, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, please, let's, do something else with this. But I completely understand why it's there, but it's just not for me. Go on, Caitlin.
I don't think you can call it preachy when every single woman has to wake up and live their life every single second of this day having to think about these thoughts and be told these ideas. And I felt America's anger during her monologue.
Yeah.
I honestly, I want to learn that monologue as be my monologue for like anything acting work that I ever do, because I felt so powerful during it. And I think you having that feeling of, okay, I get it now. Yeah, can we move on? No, we can't move on. We can't move on until we have rights. We are being listened. I think it needs to be hammered home, and I'm not going to stop hammering. I know I've had a few like long speeches on this, but I'm not going to stop hammering it home until like I can go out in the middle of night and feel safe. I want to be able to carry around and just be normal, not have to carry a rape alarm around. Not have to worry, like, oh my goodness, okay, I shouldn't say that because then I would sound weird, or, oh, men wouldn't like that. I'm not going to be able to get this job because I'm not treated as professionally as the rest of the men in my career would be. So, I feel like that is the reason it needs to be hammered home, and I think we've learnt that as women.
Sure.
It didn't just feel like it was the character saying it either. It literally felt like it came from her, America Ferrera.
It probably came from everyone on set
and
all of the actors, and Greta Gerwig as well, who probably wrote that scene and directed it as well.
Yeah.
It probably does sound silly to say this, but it is a learning curve for men, this film. Like, when they get into the real world for the first time, they're on the roller skates, and then Ken's loving the attention, and she's just like, no, it feels kind of violent and scary. You know, I get. We don't think about that. When I say we, I mean you, Xander, because you know we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's not. And then she was like, I feel kind of conscious, but about myself, and you know. And then he's just like, oh no, I'm loving it. It's eye opening, and I'd say it's just as informative than as Oppenheimer in teaching you stuff.
Go on, Suwan.
I will say, like, what you said is that, like, it was repeating itself, and that, you said, what did you say exactly? You said something like, the people that need to hear it is what they thought. The sad thing is, the people that need to hear it are the ones that are saying that it's a shit film. They're the ones that are saying that it's an attack on men.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing about it. The guys that do need to hear it, because, like, a good predominant amount of men are nice men like you guys, but then there's like the small majority that makes it seem, well, maybe not that small majority, but like there's then the other half of men that do need to see this. They're just not gonna, or they're gonna think it's an attack. So that's the kind of sad thing about it, is that, you know, you guys did learn from it, but the guys that really need to learn from it aren't gonna.
It's like the thing of not all men. For example, I will never say that, purely because, yeah, I agree that not every single man that I ever meet is going to be like that. But in a woman's mind, we need to treat it as all men for our own safety. So, I'm like, I don't ever mean to offend anyone personally if I ever say, oh my god, I feel scared, or I don't like men. I say that, and I don't want a man to say to me, oh, but I would never do that. I don't want you to say that to me. I want you to say, I agree, men are gross. They have hurt you for way too long, and that's not okay. That's what you need to hear. That's what you can't say, not all men. And I think with the America's speech as well, I like how, you know, during that scene where they're going to pick up the rest of the Barbies, it cuts back, and every single time she comes back, she has another thing to say.
A new thing. It's
And
never a repeat.
I have so many things. Like, I wish she brought up the pay difference. That was one of those things that I was like, I feel like that should have been said. But every single one of those was 100% valid in what she said and was an important point. And that list is so long of, you know, the injustice we have felt.
I guess maybe you kind of have that in the film with, you know how the not all men phrase, you know. I guess you kind of have that with Alan in the film. He's sort of the one that understands, and because he helps them.
He's great.
In the third act, and you know he's with them
him.
the whole time. He even says like, "Oh yeah, the Ken clothes fit me." He's still the same as the other men, but he understands women. Mm-hmm. You know, it's hard to spot those because, you know, like even when Alan's first in the car, they're like, "Oh, it's a guy."
Fun fact.
But it's like, oh no, I'm on
Michael
your
Cera's
side.
really good, and that moment when they get back into the car and they're like, "No, we have to go back to Barbie Land." He has a great line delivery of like, "I'm never gonna get out of here." He hates it there, and that's really cool.
I love Michael Cera's little dance he does with the little. I loved him. He's so cool.
Amazing.
I vibed with him. I think.
Michael Cera's a fun performer.
I'm Alan. Yay. I've got some small details.
I'm the Godfather. Aren't I? God.
I liked the advert midway through the film with depressed Barbie, and then it cuts to Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth, which my sister was very happy about because she really likes Colin Firth.
That was funny.
That was funny. That was funny.
I hate Pride and Prejudice, but that was funny.
You hate Pride and Prejudice?
I don't hate it as a film. I hate it as a book and a story because I had to write about it in English literature.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fair.
President Barbie is a powerhouse. And I liked when she just swore at Ken at the
Incredible.
Yes!
Incredible.
It was bleeped by the Mattel logo.
Yeah, really funny.
I giggled at that.
It was the moment for me. I was like, sorry, what? That was just completely out of nowhere. Amazing.
And I feel like, sorry, Joe, on that little point, it needs to be hammered home that she is not over emotional. A woman in power is over emotional for swearing. She is a powerful woman for doing that, and we are fed up. And just we are allowed to swear and not be over emotional or on our periods.
Do it.
No.
Do it. Do it, Kevin. Do it. Do it. Do a swear. Do a swear.
I think you should.
Do it.
I think you should
Do
beat
it.
it with the Mattel.
I'll swear.
The Filming and Podcast does not endorse this kind of language.
Except for C1.
Yeah, she loves that.
Caitlin does.
I guess there
Katie
was
does
kind of
not.
maybe the argument to be made that I don't know if this probably wasn't intentional. It was me looking too far into it, but she was silenced with the bleep. Like when she swore. Does that make
I
sense?
see
Or am I looking
that.
too far into
I
it?
see that.
Like I can't remember like any of the guys swearing in the film. Maybe.
Yeah, no,
I
no
think
one,
that is the
They
only
swear.
swear word in the
that is the
entire
only-
movie.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, that could just be because of the PG.
That is
rating
just for the
then,
PG
but-
rating, I believe. It's not.
I think that actually made it a 12.
Oh no, it's
Ooh,
the
damn.
genitalia made it a 12.
Oh, was it?
I assume it was the
talking about
I assume it was the genitalia.
Okay. I think I'm looking too far.
I
into it.
understand that, but I think it is a little bit. I feel like it is. She's allowed that moment that everyone's gonna remember. Like, it shouldn't be a man to swear. A woman is allowed to swear too, without seeming like dirty or anything.
Is there anything
like-
else people want to bring up?
Yeah.
Go on, Joe.
I make so many notes for these things. I do apologise.
Rifle through
I'd like
some.
to-
Rifle through some.
I've got two. So when they're saying goodbye to Barbie at the end when she's going off the real world, it was sort of like the NPC thing. And in our screening, people started to wave, and I thought, oh, that's quite cool. That's sort of like the things I can tolerate in a cinema. That's cool.
I waved.
And then my biggest gripe with the film, and my sister reminded me of this, there was no Bibble. Where was Bibble?
Thank fuck.
No, I love.
I watched Barbie Mariposa running up to this,
I
thinking that Bibble would be part of it. Like even a cameo. Like I expected them to go past some worlds,
No.
and off in the distance you could see like the fairies.
This
and
isn't the Flash.
Bibble.
yeah, I think
Sorry,
those
I know.
those types of Barbie movies is what I grew up with, but I am very glad they didn't reference them because they are
I
a
don't like these
completely
talks of.
separate thing.
I don't like.
It's a
these
separate
talks of
universe,
spin-offs.
guys, alright?
I don't like the talk of spin-offs and stuff at the moment. It can be its own thing. Like
Yeah, but it's not
is
going to
the
be
film
because
based-
it's making $1 billion.
Wait, because that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't know, because I don't know if it counts as a spoiler because it's technically nothing to do with this film, but it's how they're now going to do a film about every fucking toy Mattel has done.
Oh yeah,
Like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
isn't that
no.
what really
They're doing,
stupid.
They're doing Viewfinder, where you look through a little thing and you see an animal.
Oh, great.
That's what a Viewfinder is.
What's
That's
the
what
film
they're
about that?
doing
Like,
in
I'm
the film.
sorry, I don't get why they're doing that now. I think they're
No.
getting the wrong message of why this is fucking successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They
successful.
are, in
doing-
They have
fairness,
set that.
they already had these. They already had these in
I know,
development.
yeah, I know that. I know
Yes.
that they did have it before.
them all.
But like, I'm sorry, I don't think they need to.
Cancel them all.
I think I kind of understand why they're doing it, but at the same time, I feel like Mattel can go ahead and do like their own toy things, but I think Barbie by itself is a completely separate one because I think like when they do like the Hot Wheels film or whatever, it's gonna be a kids film. That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing like cars,
No, it's gonna be a gritty action
and I think if
movie.
Well, apparently they're doing Barney the Dinosaur, and that's going to be a bit dark and twisted.
Isn't that with
It's-
Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya's in it?
He's gonna murder people.
I mean, I'm up for that because that sounds
I
interesting.
don't know. I feel like Barbie is a separate.
Yeah, I don't think they should
being
do a sequel
altogether.
to it.
I honestly
They
wouldn't mind a
will.
sequel. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind a sequel because I feel like if it's done correctly, it could be amazing.
It's not gonna be though.
And hopefully, it can maybe show
I
our
don't want a
lives being
sequel.
women's rights being progressive, or the fact of it could be they could be showing the backlash of how the guys who still can't get it through their thick skulls what the message is about. It can be to them.
I really liked Weird Barbie
Yes.
in this film.
I didn't think she was very funny. I'm sorry. Another one, I just didn't find anything she said funny. I thought it was kind of cringe. I'm really sorry.
It helps that Kate McKinnon's got such striking eyes.
Yeah.
That when it cuts to her, like, that was really
When
funny.
they bring it down and she screams. Amazing.
She was like, yeah, I expected that. I'm sorry.
Also, same thing with the gay culture, the Birkenstock versus the high heel.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
but
I like Will Ferrell's run.
yes.
Is that everything? Did we do it? Did we do a Barbenheimer? Did we do a meme?
I think it's really nice that Shooty's Barbie is I can't remember the actor's name.
Emma
but
Mackey.
She's Emma Mackey from Sex Ed. So they're together in this as well.
She's cute.
That's sweet.
Just missing Asa Butterfield. You've
No,
got
literally, it's just
Connor.
sex
Adam
It's just
in
sex
there.
education
Connor.
cast.
Asa Butterfield would have made an incredible Alan.
I was going to say,
I
yeah.
would actually, but I feel like Michael just did it better.
Oh yeah.
I love Michael
For sure.
with all my heart.
We love Michael Cera. We did it. Welcome out of the spoiler section. There wasn't many spoilerific things to talk about, but I would recommend, if you haven't seen Barbie, still listen to that section. There were a lot of important things said. Does anyone want to sell me a movie or a TV show or a game or a music or a book if you're a nerd?
I think you should play Valorant.
Anyone else? Anyone else? No, come on then, Caitlin. Sell it to me. Sell me it.
Okay. I just thought I had to do recommendation. I didn't know I would sell it to you, but I will.
You gotta explain. I have no idea what Valorant is.
Okay, so it's a first-person shooter. It is a team game, and Valorant is amazing. Apart from the people who play it, the people who play it are gross. But every single agent has a different ability. You work as a team, and you have to stop a bomb going off. It sounded a bit like Oppenheimer, you know? It's fine. Also, I feel like you will find Viper attractive because she is. Mainly the female, yes. Yeah, I see your face. I see your face.
May have just googled. And a cheeky
Oh,
Google.
same.
I see you. You can say it. Everyone knows it. And
Pretty cool.
Mid.
I know it.
It's a joke,
I
it's a
will.
joke, it's a
I
joke.
will come to your house to sell the game. If you play it with me, I'll play it on stream with you. And I'll
Xander.
promo
Go,
and I'll
Xander.
promo you. And I'll promo you.
Go,
You
Xander.
cannot refuse that offer, Xander.
It's a hard offer to refuse.
Is that a yes?
Xander, just say yes.
Oh, this is a real. But then yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Just so you know, I suck at video games.
Oh, don't
so
worry, same.
You're gonna hard carry.
I'm glad. I'm okay with this.
Right. So someone else, tell me. Go on, Joseph.
I have a choice of two, but I don't know if C1's going to say the other.
If I think,
Do it and find out.
Or both of them.
yeah.
See what happens.
Okay. The first one's Extraction. The first one, because that was actually good. The second one was Pants.
What?
The second one was awful. The first one was really good. I enjoyed that so much. Like, Extraction 2, that's like a 6. Extraction, the first one, like an 8. I was like, oh, I'm having such a good time with this. Like, I actually cared in the first one. The second film was like even the 20-minute long take in the second one, I'm like, this ain't as good. I don't care that it's on a train.
It's so cool.
The first one with the car chase, that's actually, like, I actually care about that. And I care
There was a
about the
car
plot.
chase in the second one.
But it wasn't as good, was it? So that was really good. If you haven't seen the first Extraction, watch it. You don't need to bother with the second one. My other recommendation is an animated film on Netflix called Nimona,
Yes. Yes.
which is a beautiful film. Apparently it was in development hell because Disney were going to make it, and they just were like, nah, we don't want to do that because we hate gay people.
I was gonna say, isn't it
Stuff
because
like
there
that.
were gay people in it?
Yeah, so Netflix have gotten, well, helped out. I don't know the specifics, but it's a really beautiful film. I cried at it. It's very nicely animated. We're at a time when animations aren't just just these stereotypical 3D Toy Story whatever. You've got actual creativity behind. That's not to say that those aren't creatively done,
No,
but
of course.
these have got like an artistic flair to them, and that they're just very different and more like a 2D drawing, a bit like Klaus. So I really enjoy this film. It's very emotional. You actually care about all the characters, and it's funny and great soundtrack. So go watch both of those.
All of them on Netflix.
They're both on Netflix, yeah, or Dark Arts.
Go on, Suan. Hit me.
See, now that's the thing. Between last time, where we did it like 2 days in a row and I had nothing, I now have too many because it's been, what, a week and a
got loads
half,
as well.
and I've watched a lot, so I'm trying to pick between...
Is it The Rise of Skywalker? Is that what you're going to recommend?
Shockingly, no, shockingly not.
What?
Shockingly, I know.
That was a pun. That was a pun.
Is it?
What, shocking? What, because of the Emperor?
Power! It's been a long day, guys.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with the one I've rated higher on my letterbox, so it has to be Inception. I watched
I rewatched
Inception.
this last night.
I rewatched it because I wanted to finally understand it. Same, like, I now feel like I need to watch Tenet just to prove to you that I can understand it, because, you didn't understand it, so I want to try to understand
I didn't
it.
understand it.
Exactly. I want to try to understand it.
Do you have subtitles on Xander?
No, it was just like the third act was just a lot.
It is. But
And
yeah,
I
no.
just couldn't do it.
I rewatched Inception because I finally wanted to understand it. So, like, this was a phone down, have to do it. And I actually did. I understood it. Very good film when you understand it. But, like, it's visually amazing. Acting is great. You get a bit of Killian in it. But it's, yeah, very, very, very good film. So I'll say Inception.
My takeaway last time I watched Inception was that Elliot Page's character was essentially there just to ask all the questions
Yeah.
the audience has. But
Pretty
then
much.
on a rewatch last night, you realise that actually they're there for more than that, because without him being there, Leo would have no growth.
Leo would be fucked.
Like, just perfectly written blockbuster. And then it looks great as well, and it's such an inventive story.
It is. I don't know how the fuck
So, yeah,
they've
I love that.
come up with something like that.
Yeah, no idea.
I'm always jealous of filmmakers because they're so creative.
Yeah, man. Okay, I got two.
Only I am allowed to do two,
I
Xander.
got two. I got a TV show and a movie, both from this year.
Okay.
I'll do the TV show first. I finally finished watching Poker Face, the new Ryan Johnson TV show that's got Natasha Lyonne, who is just a normal woman who's has this really cool talent where she can tell if anyone is lying. She knows straight away.
Love that.
And so after an issue back home, she travels the country and essentially solves murder mysteries every week. And it's so good. It's so good. Each episode, I feel like this is one of those shows that I could watch 9 seasons of, 22 episodes, and it wouldn't get old. Because each episode has new cool guest stars, and they're all set out. Each episode is set out in kind of the same way. So you see the crime happen, you know exactly who did it and how it's done. And then in the second half, you see how Natasha Lyonne's character is inserted into the previous scenes you've already seen, and then how she figures out the crime. And it's really cool. She's just so watchable. And yeah, if you haven't checked it out, do. It's on Sky, so you can catch it on like Now TV or Mystic Arts. But it is worth your time, and hopefully Ryan Johnson does a second season of this because it's real good. The movie is my biggest recommendation, and it might be... it came out this year. It's not actually out in UK cinemas yet. It comes out on... Well, it will be out when the podcast comes out. It comes out on Friday, the 28th. And it is the new
I will not be
horror
watching
film
this.
from A24, Talk to Me.
How do you see it?
Not heard of that one.
I will not be watching this.
I will
saw
be.
an advanced screening of this on Monday, and it's outrageously good. It's by these Australian directors, first time debut. They're actually YouTubers. You might know them as Rucka Rucka. but they're Australian YouTubers and they make short action or horror films, and they've gone on to now make this feature film, and it is really good. It's about there's like a viral sensation around this little town where they have a hand that's like covered in cement, and you have to grab it, and it allows you to connect with the spirit world. And then if you say like, talk to me and let me in, I let you in, then the spirit takes over your body and it talks through you. And it's about like what happens if you like don't close the door properly. And it's really, the best thing about this film is that it's a really simple setup and the rules are really simple to follow. So they say you have to light the candle, touch the hand, and then you can't do it for more than 90 seconds, and then you have to blow out the candle at the end. And those are the rules. That's it. And it sticks to those rules so well. It's got great performances, genuine moments of terror, not many jump scares, which is something I know a lot of people freak out about, and especially me, I hate jump scares. But like, there's only a couple of them in there, but the scares are like actual, it's terror. Like, I'm gripping the side of my chair like, oh my god, this is so awful, I hate this. There's images in this movie that I cannot get out of my head. Yeah, really well written, and great characters as well. Even, like, it's 90 minutes or something, really short horror film. Go and check it out, it is worth your time and money. I feel like people will be looking back on this like Jordan Peele's directorial debut. I know it's might not be as culturally significant, but it's on that same level of quality. So I think you should all be checking this out.
Ooh.
The runtime appeals to me.
The horror.
Such a clown.
The horror appeals to
not.
me.
It's really good though, Joe.
Do you think I'd find it really scary? Because
there'd be moments you'd be very uncomfortable with.
Oh.
But I think you get over it because it's just really good.
Can I actually watch it?
Oh yeah, the blood.
Is it?
No. No. Maybe not with the blood. But yeah, really, really good movie. If you are able to, if you don't have a crippling fear of blood, go and check it out. And that'll do it. We're finally at the end. My God, I don't know how I'm going to edit this. We're here. We've been here for like nearly 4 hours now.
No,
Luck.
three hours, 20 minutes.
Oh, I was here before 1 o'clock,
Oh.
my love. Yeah, I've been here ages. My butt really hurts.
That's how I felt during Barbenheimer.
Thank you to everyone for listening, and thank you very much. You may have heard at the start. Thank you very much to Shay, who made our new theme tune for us, which you will hear at the start. Amazing work.
Awesome.
I will leave a link to his Twitter in the description, and he takes requests and stuff like that, and you can pay him for things. And he's really talented, so well done, Shay. It sounds great, and we love it. Joe, where can the people find you?
I'm not going to do my Willy Wonka thing again.
you.
You can find me on Twitter at Cook11Joseph, YouTube Rebel Hoovian, Instagram Joe Cook _digital artist, and then I do have a Letterboxd, which I think is literally just Joseph Cook. If you look that up, it might be there. But yes.
Amazing, thank you. Siwan, where can the people find you?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at C101, but I don't exactly post. But I do post a lot on my Letterboxd. If you want to find Joe's, he's in my following at C1Os. So like find him there if you want, but like mainly look at mine. But yeah, there you go, my Letterboxd.
Amazing, and amazing thank you to our very special guest, Tiny Katie. Where can the people find you?
Tiny Katie on pretty much everything. It's spelled Caity. I'm mainly active on Twitch, currently on YouTube, and I'm on everything else. You know, I'm also on Kick. You know, because why not?
I didn't know
Branching out.
I didn't know that's how you spell tiny.
Yeah, that's how you spell tiny. Easy.
It was really great having you here, and you're more than welcome to come back on anytime you like.
I don't watch as many films as you, but it was very fun. And
next time for Barbie 2, you'll be back.
Yeah, Barbie 2
We'll be
I'll
back
be
for
back.
Barbie 2 for sure.
If you have any, films that I watch, let me know. Personally,
We'll let you know.
I think you should do Twilight.
Yes.
I said this in a meeting.
No.
I said
Yes.
this in a meeting.
No.
Yes.
No.
Wait,
We could keep going back to
No.
it. We could keep doing the sequels, and it's reliable
Yes.
content.
Great.
No,
I think
because
it'd be
then I
funny.
have to watch them all.
Join us.
Yeah, I know. I've only seen the first one, Joe, and it's
I've
bad
watched them
enough.
all
I've literally-
once, and that was
I'm
enough.
rewatching all of them right now. Because
Oh,
why not?
Jesus.
Don't make me.
Of course.
Don't make me.
Thank you to everyone for listening. If you want to check out the podcast online, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Joe makes incredible posters for the Instagram and Twitter, and the one for this week is sure to be a banger. So go and check that out. Also, Alex runs the Twitter account, so if you see any tweets from them, it is their thoughts. But they're having fun with it, and that's all we really care about. And that is everything. Next week, we are looking back at some cancelled movies. It should be a fun discussion about what movies we wish were made and why they were cancelled and what scenarios. So it should be a fun one. So make sure you're tuned in for that. Thank you so much to everyone for listening, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Ciao, Barbie.
Bye, Ken.
Bye, Barbie.